Let me go and introduce our next presenter. The next presenter that we have is going to talk about customer service and all the great things it has to do with building your coaching business and all that is going to entail. I am so excited to present to you Mr. Scott McCrary.
Hey everybody, I am hope everybody's doing well this morning. I know y'all had a pretty intense first training with my wife, and so I'm honored to be able to come in and talk to you guys about customer service. My wife kind of gave us some of a background on who I am. Matter of fact, I'm her husband, but prior to, I have been I was in corporate America for over, oh boy, since 1997. That's when I really started. I was in the Air Force prior to that. And no, I'm sorry, no, 1997. I've been in corporate America for a very long time, probably about a good 30 years. But in that arena, customer service was the area where I was in. I started off with ICI Chemical Company. I started off as a customer service representative there, worked my way up, got promoted. I was the general manager, vice president over their national customer service division. I had responsibility for the United States and also Canada, managed many multi-million-dollar production plants, worked with unions and everything else. And then I moved on to AT&T, well, Ameritech at the time was AT&T, and was in their customer service center as well. Worked my way up and was also in different areas of AT&T until I retired just this past October. And so that was part of my plan. But as my wife said, I was able to go to get my certification courses done through Harvard Business School. And so customer service is really a thing that I have a lot of experience in, and I wanted to just share that with you guys today. And so I know that you guys that are on this video are really looking towards doing your coaching business. So, when we start talking about customer service, I believe that customer service kind of runs the gamut for every type of business. It doesn't matter if you're selling shoes or coaching or water, whatever the case may be, customer service is a must. And so one of the biggest things that most people do is that they only focus on, the product, which is important, the brick and mortar, which is important, the marketing, which is important. All those things are important. But one of the things that they don't focus on like they should is a firm customer service plan. Every business, every person that's going to be a business owner, you or entrepreneur, you need a firm customer service plan, because customer service is actually the backbone to your business. Like I said, I don't care what your business is. Customer service, a firm customer service plan is the backbone to your business. Even though the products and the storefront and all those things are important, they do not obtain the level of success if your customer service is not where it should be. I always look at it as this. Customer service shows the integrity of your company. I'll say that again, and you probably want to write that down. Customer service shows the integrity of your company. And one of the things that you must understand, that you are either going to have a good customer service plan where you're going to generate good integrity, or you don't have one and your integrity is going to be in question. Now, what do I mean by integrity? I'm not talking about that you're a crooked person or whatever, but what I'm saying is, when we put something out there in your coaching business, you're going to start a coaching business and you're going to put yourself out there as probably an expert or somebody that knows what they're talking about. And so you can have all of the credentials, you can have all of the accolades and degrees and all those things known to man. You could have them all. But if your customer service is horrible, none of that's going to mean anything. People come to you for your product, but they come to you mostly because they want to be served the right way. People, like, if they're spending their money, they want to believe what they're spending their money on, they're going to get great service. And so write this down. I must have a customer service plan. You got to have one. And what do I mean by plan? You got to have some directives on how you, or if you have employees, how they are going to interact with the people that you are looking to serve. There's got to be a firm guide. There has to be firm guidelines on that. And I'm talking about from how they interact. What is your hours of operation and all those things, which we'll get into. But you got to have a firm customer service plan. One of the things that I was responsible for when I was the general manager, vice president over the National Customer Service Division at ICI Chemical, my job was to make sure that everyone followed the customer service plan. I would work with our human resources departments and our other officers at our company. I had to develop that plan because we needed to make sure that when customers called in, they left happy. They did not leave angry. Now you're gonna have those, but what I'm saying is that when they called into our company or they went into one of our locations or were dealing with our plants, that they left wanting to come back. And so if we did not have a firm customer service plan, then you don't know how to serve your customers. You may think that you know how, but I'm telling you, if you don't have a plan and you follow that plan to the T, you're going to find yourself in an area where you're kind of all over the place, and your name and your integrity of your company is going to be questioned. As a coach, one of the things that I look at this as a coach, your customer service plan is probably more important than somebody that's actually selling shoes. Well, I'm going to say this. Why? Because you're coaching people. And you're going to have to make sure that you do what you're telling someone else. And so a great customer service plan, how I'm going to interact. If I got somebody working for me and they're calling to engage my company, that person answering the phone, how they interact with your customers, because if you've got people working for you, I mean, people are calling in because you're in high demand and you've got an office and they're calling in and people want to talk to you. How that person answers the phone, how they talk to the people on the other end is important to your business. And if you've got somebody that's sitting there that does not have guidelines on how they're supposed to interact, they may treat your customers like they treat their family, like they treat their friends. And you will end up trying to find out, how come no one's calling me? How come no one's wanting my coaching services? And you've got somebody sitting there running away. All your customers, you don't know until somebody calls and say, hey, I was dealing with, the person that answered the phone, whatever their name is, and I did not like the way they talked to me. They were very curt. They were very arrogant on the phone. They were very dismissive, or they wouldn't let me talk, or they wouldn't allow me to say what I needed to say. And so I went somewhere else. You don't want that. But if you've got a firm customer service plan, then you know that the people answer the phone, and even yourself, you need to follow your own plan, that your customers are going to come back. So I said that customer service is the backbone. It's the integrity of your company. Even though your products are important, even though your marketing plan is important, even though the storefront, how it looks is important, the marketing that you put out, all of that's important. The one thing that undergirds all of those is your customer service. Because if you don't have great customer service, no one's going to want to buy your product. If you don't have great customer service, no one's going to come in the store that you pay rent on every month. If you don't have great customer service, people can care less how great your store looks. If you don't have great customer service, you can put on as many commercials and send out as many ads as you want. Nobody's going to respond. Why? Because your integrity has been questioned. And one of the things that we must know is that word travels, and word travels faster than what you think. And so write this down. There are two types of customers that you are going to deal with in your coaching business. One, there's the X customer, right? Write it down and put an X. Then there's the dash, or like a minus sign. You got your X customers and you've got your minus sign customers. And I'm going to give you kind of a definition of each, but you got two different customers that you are going to have. Let's deal with the first one, your X customers. Usually when I look at a mathematical equation, X means multipliers. So your X customers are your multipliers. These are the people who are happy. These are the people that have engaged you in your coaching business, and they are so happy because, first of all, Your customer service was excellent. It was on par. It was, a great experience for them. And so what they now have become, they become your biggest asset. You don't need, if customer service, when you got great customer service, you can save so much money on marketing. Why? Because anytime an ex-customer leaves, has an interaction with you and they leave and become an ex-customer, now they start to talk. Now they start to spread the word. So your ex-customers are always multipliers. Write that down. Ex-customers are multipliers. So if you have when your coaching business, you have done your job, you've got great customer service, and then all of the things that you have, your product, your marketing, all that is what it says it is. You're going to create an ex-customer, and that ex-customer is going to go out and they're going to talk to their friends. They're going to talk to other people. And because once they've done what you said, and now they're on their way to success, people start asking, what did you do? Well, I talked to so-and-so. You need to go talk to them. So now they've given out your number. Now they've given out your email. They've given out your website address. And before you know it, you start having all these people calling you. And then you find out, how did you, because if part of your customer service is that you need to have some kind of follow-up mechanism, which we'll talk about. But you need to find out, how did you hear about me? Oh, well, John Smith, the guy that, owns such and such, he told me about you. And so now you start to see your name getting out there. Word is traveling because you provided that customer service. When they interacted with your company, they got through. It was pleasant, all those things. And now all of a sudden names travel because now that particular person has become an ex-customer. Ex-customers multiply your business, and ex-customers always return to your business. Write that down. Ex-customers multiply, but they will return again. Why? Because of the experience that you have just given them. When we go to restaurants, a lot of times you may go to a restaurant, not because you drove down the street and said, oh, that's a great restaurant. 9 times out of 10, you went to that restaurant because somebody said, man, have you been to such and such place? Jolly Burgers, I'm making that up. No, I've never been to Jolly Burgers, man. You need to go there, man. They've got the best hamburgers and onion rings and lemonade I've ever tasted. And so now somebody had an experience. The ex-customer has now told you about Jolly Burgers. And what did you do? You would say, hey, get your family, your girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. We're going to go to Jolly Burgers because so-and-so said that. Wouldn't you want that about your coaching business? Man, oh boy, I'm telling you, the best coach in the world is Tamika Duncan. She's the best coach. I'm telling you, this girl, she told me everything I needed to know about my business. The best coaches is MadamCEO, Tawana Cargan, man. I'm telling you, she's so dynamic. So now all of a sudden, your name is traveling because those ex-customers have put your name out there. There's a place here that just opened up in the Atlanta area, probably about maybe, I want to say about a month or two ago, called the Slutty Vegan. And the Slutty Vegan, they sell vegan burgers. And before they had a little food truck, and the stuff that they were selling out, they had great service. The product was where it was on par, all that. And then they opened up a location or a storefront. And I'm telling you, everybody that had experienced Slutty Vegan has started getting on the internet, and they start talking about, oh man, you guys got to get over Slutty Vegan because they're opening up a location and all this other stuff. And the day they opened up, Slutty Vegan had like 3 or 4 hour waits for people just to get a burger. Why? Because somebody told them. Their name traveled across the internet, and now everybody is going back. They're returning customers. So you see people on Instagram and Facebook eating a Slutty burger. Why? Because the service they got was on par. The product that they got was it matched what people said it was. Matter of fact, I was thinking about going to Slutty Vegan today myself. But their name traveled. Why? Because they created ex-customers. Now let's deal with the other one, the dash or the minus customers. These are people who have come to your coaching business and they did not get great service. And what happens to dash or minus customers, they become subtractors. Write that down. Dash or minus sign, however you want to use it, they have now become subtractors to my coaching business. And what happens is, I'm not saying that everybody that engages you are going to leave happy, but you can still control the narrative. And so if they called you and didn't get a return call, or if they didn't get something that you said you were going to give them, then now they start, or the information that you're giving them ain't working. Now all of a sudden they become subtractors. Just like multipliers spread the word, subtractors probably spread the word faster than multipliers. Case in point, I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of multipliers, when they experience great customer service, a lot of them get a little selfish. They don't want to tell nobody. So they'll keep a secret sometimes, before they get out and start spreading the word. Not subtractors. Subtractors are angry. They're emotional. So when they don't have good customer service, they're going to tell somebody. Oh, don't go to so-and-so's coaching business. They don't do what they say. They don't return phone calls. Voicemail's always full. We'll get in that a little bit later. My interaction with them was just horrible. Now, everybody on this particular call, that's not for you, because you're going to have a great customer service plan. You're going to develop one for your coaching business. And you're not going to have the minus or the subtractors talking about you. But they will go out and they will start to spread the word. You go to a restaurant, and I said that, if you got somebody working for you, answering your phone, or waiting your, doing whatever. Restaurants have people that answer their phones, wait their tables, all that. And if that person is not following the customer service plan, I don't care if they got the best ribs on this side of heaven, you're not going back. There was places that me and my wife had to wait, and we waited an hour or so for our food. Food was great food, but I would never go back again because the service was horrible. Not only did we get stuff late, a lot of times we didn't get all the stuff that we asked for. I don't want to eat my salad with my meal. My wife don't want to eat her soup with her meal. That's supposed to come out earlier. Don't tell me that we're backed up in the kitchen and we're waiting on your stuff. My eggs, we went to a place just the other day and to eat, a place that we go to frequently, got great food, but we waited a long time, and the waitress didn't tell us what was going on until we asked the question. See, a customer service oriented company will tell people when there's delays, when there's problems. The customer should never have to ask about this stuff. And so now my wife gets her food and her eggs are hard because we know that they had been sitting up under the light and they were waiting on other stuff, and they brought us all of our stuff out at the same time. And so my wife had to send the eggs back, get some more eggs. Now, we like the place. We know that this was a hiccup that they had because we've eaten there before. As a matter of fact, we was just there again last night for a friend of ours' birthday party. Service was fine. Waitresses are very attentive. All of that, I'll go back. Understand this. Just because one bad interaction doesn't mean that they won't come back. But you have to correct that. And so ex-customers, subtractors. So number one. Number two, you have two different types of customers. One, multipliers. They're gonna be the voice of your business. You want those. You want to create those. That comes from having good customer service. Number two, you're gonna have subtractors. They're gonna go out and tell people about how horrible your coaching business is, how you don't tell the truth, how the stuff that you said doesn't work. You don't live by your own suggestions. Because me and my wife have dealt with people like that. They don't live by what they preach. So, or what they're instructing me to do. You got to do that. because that's all part of your customer service. So let's deal with some things. Let's deal with our product. And so number one, our product must match what you say, because it will expose a lie. And what do I mean by that? Part of your customer service, I said customer service is the integrity of your company. So I said that undergirds your product, your marketing, your building, all that stuff. So your product must match what you say, because it will expose and make you into a liar eventually. When I worked for ICI Chemical Company, I was part of a team. I had some scientists that used to work for me in a research center, and we had came out with this paint that did not smell, and it was called Spread 2000, and it was supposed to be the year 2000 paint, you know, all this stuff. It was Spread 2000. You put it on your wall, and everybody knows it's paint. You know, you paint. Some people like that new paint smell, but a lot of people who had allergy issues and all that, this was a hyperallergenic paint. It was not going to smell. We were creating that. And so as we were creating that, we went through a bunch of testing phases because we could smell the paint. So eventually we got to a point where you put that paint on the wall, didn't smell it. So when we put it out there to the customers, this paint was going to cost a lot more than the other paints because it was a special paint. And it had to match what we say. So when somebody said, when we got out and said, here's Spread 2000, you can put it in your house, there's not going to be a smell. We had commercials on TV, all of this stuff on TV, and we put it out there. It had to match what we say. And people started buying it. And we got great reactions because our product actually did what it said. That is great customer service, because you don't want to say that your product is one thing, knowing in your heart it's not that. And so you got to make sure that your product does not lie. It's like saying that I'm selling diamond rings, but I know my diamond ring is cubic zirconia. In your coaching business, when you put your coaching out there, however you market it, whatever the product is that you are saying, if you have not tested that product for success, I mean, you've got, as the people say, receipts on your product. One of the things that me and my wife did, we offered my wife and MadamCEO, she put stuff out there. Y'all know she got the credit bundles and all those things that she actually gives to her customers. And when she goes, and I'm gonna talk about that credit bundle because that's some of the ones that I know about specifically. We have people who have used the credit bundle, and now their credit has improved. I cannot say that the credit bundle was successful if I did not have testimonial or receipt, so to speak, that credit bundle worked. Now, one of the things it did, it worked when I had identity theft and all that. I used it for myself. So we went through the testing phase. Other people, I knew it worked. My wife saw it work. So when we marketed it and sold it, now we were able to say, hey, this is going to work. Your credit score is going to increase. Things should come off of your credit report. Why? Because when we put it out there, we knew that was already a great product and that the product worked. It would not expose us as a lie. Now, sometimes people are not going to do what you say. As a coach, you're going to experience that all the time, where people are not going to do what you say. And so you know that as you're dealing with your customers, you got to ask a question, because that's part of how you build your customer service. Did you do X, Y, and Z? Because I hear my wife all the time and people call her back. Well, this is not working. Well, what did you do? Well, I did this. Well, did you do the rest of the steps? No. Well, it's not going to work unless you do all the steps. So don't always look at a negative response as a negative response. And don't get emotional when somebody's got a negative response. Get the information. Because if they didn't do everything that you're supposed to do, no sweat off your back. But if they did, then you need to work out some things and figure it out. But you should always know that your product works before you sell it. That's customer service. I can't sell you a diamond or say it's a diamond when I know it's glass. Eventually, somebody's going to find out. And I said, you want X customers, you want people returning for that product. And so if it's not a diamond, okay, give them exactly what it is. People just want to know, if I'm giving you my money, what am I really paying for? So your job is, as a coach, if you're going to offer products and services, coaching plans to your people, your customers, that you give them what they're paying for. Man, I can't tell you how many times we've dealt with folks and they said they're going to give me one thing. And then when we deal with them, it's something totally different. My wife just dealt with that when she was taking her photos. Somebody had offered her, services for makeup. And then when they got here, the price had changed. Big no-no. You don't ever do that. If you put it out there, you own it. All right? Always back your product. It speaks for you. If the product fails, own it. Write that down. If something I'm doing, if something I'm coaching or giving to people is not working for them, and they've done everything you said, own it. Just own it and figure it out and try to make sure that what you're giving them will work. I'm telling you, people just want to know that you're going to be accountable. They want to know that you care. They want to know that you back your product, because they don't want to, you go someplace and they're like, well, there's no refund. I'm not giving you a refund. I'm not doing this. No, because customer service first engages with the customer in a way that you would want to be treated. And you figure it out and you find out what's wrong and you do all these things. What's wrong with my product? If I bought a car and I pull it off the lot and the car starts to smoke, I should be able to take that car back and that dealership owns it. They fix it or give me a new car. You got to be the same way with your coaching business. You got to own it. All right. Let's look at your marketing. Okay. So when you're marketing your product, that's part of your customer service. You're marketing your product, because that kind of goes hand in hand when I talk about your product, but you're going to market that product one day. You're going to market your coaching business. And so as you're marketing, you're putting everything out that you will offer. This is what I offer. Okay. Make sure that any flyer, any electronic media, any TV commercial, any of those things that you put out, that you say you do, that when somebody calls you, it's available. They should never hear, oh, we don't do that anymore, or we don't do that, and you got it on a piece of information that's telling people that you do. Because I'm going to tell you about, some people put stuff on paper and electronic media knowing they don't do that stuff. Knowing they don't do it, knowing it's something they don't offer, but they build themselves up. It's almost like padding your resume. Write that down. Your marketing plan should never be like padding your resume. Don't say you graduated from Princeton when you were a community college associate's degree. Market your product based on what you know you can deliver. Because one of the things that's going to really set people off, and they're going to turn into a negative customer, and they're going to be a subtractor, is when you got something out there and when they engage you, it's not available. I remember one time me and my wife was in Nashville, and we were real hungry one night, and we went to Popeye's Chicken, or Church is one of them. It was one of the chicken places. And it was a little late, but it wasn't real late. Probably about maybe 10 o'clock. They were still over there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So we get to the drive-through window because we wanted some chicken. We were. And the lady tells us, we're out of chicken. What? I got a problem with that. You're a chicken place. How can you be out of chicken? You got a sign out there that says you're a chicken place. All the commercials with that lady offering chicken.
how good it is. You're supposed to have chicken. And her response to us was, oh, the chicken man is not here right now. We bust out laughing like, who was the chicken man? When a guy who cooks the chicken decided to go on break when they didn't have chicken. So what happened? We had to leave and go to Crystal's and get some of them nasty Crystal burgers. And we were hungry. We had to eat something. And so what am I saying? You don't want to be putting something out there that you're this kind of coach, and then when people engage you, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I got to find that out. Now you don't know every answer, but some of the stuff you should know, the basic stuff you should know, because you've already put it out there that you're an expert in that area. So that's what the marketing is. Marketing is still customer service, y'all. I need you to get that because it speaks for you. What you're saying in your marketing plan or when you do your stuff, you're telling folks when they are engaging you, whatever they read, whatever they saw, that's what they are going to get. You want to make sure what you say out there is matching your product. I kind of went a little reverse. I should have went marketing first, product second. I'm sorry. So when you write your notes down, kind of flip-flop it. If you got product one, make it number two, marketing number one. And so, because you want to put that out there. You want to make sure that your marketing matches the product that you're going to sell. I got a tailoring company, and I sell custom men's suits. We're very luxurious fabrics and custom men's suits. And I get guys that say, hey, what is this suit made out of? So for those of you who don't know, a lot of fabrics, they have names to them. So you've got either silk and wool, Super 100, Super 120, Super 180, Super 200. I just think the thread count, kind of like when you go buy sheets, you get the thread count. The higher the thread count, the better the fabric. So you know when you go to the thing to buy your sheets, you see a 80 thread count set of sheets, it's going to be about $20. And if you get the thousands thread count sheets, those kind of run up to, man, I've seen sheets that run up $500-600. And so same thing with suits. And so I go to store, I kind of do my marketing research. I go to stores and I see some of these stores who are your big box stores, and they're saying that we have Super 100, Super 120 suits. So I go into the store and I look into the suit. I open the inside pocket, flip it open, but on the thing it says the suit is Super 120. So the consumer is automatically going to think that I'm buying a Super 120, 100% wool garment. That's how they market it. They got commercials. Oh, we got Super 100 suits in here, Super 120. You come in, it's 2 for $99. So I open up the tag, I pull the fabric tag out, and it says 100% polyester or 90% rayon, 10% polyester. Now what they've done, they've got a tag in that suit that says Super 100, Super 120. The consumer thinks that I'm buying a 100% Super 120 wool suit, but they fail to look at the fabric tag that says this is a polyester suit. So we talked about a product, can't sell a diamond when you know it's a cubic zirconia, because what's going to happen is the customer is going to find out later. You marketed that thing a certain way, sold that product that way, but you know that product's not matching that. So in your coaching business, if you're going to market yourself as an expert, you better be an expert. You better be the expert. If you're not the expert, don't put expert on any of your marketing because you're not an expert. Don't say it until you actually become it. So these guys with these suits, they find out why I paid $2 for $99 for that suit. Because after I've taken it to the cleaners, it's shiny. The interface starts to break down. And what has to happen? I got to go either buy 2 more or I throw them away. They look horrible. And then all of a sudden they're like, I'm not going back to that place because they sell cheap suits. You cannot market at something if you know that that's not what you're marketing. All right. So if you decide to, when you put your business out there, you've got your business going, your coaching business going, you're on your way. So you got your business. So you got to make sure I got a business card with me. I've got a website. I know my wife maybe talking about a lot of this. Maybe she's going to do it tomorrow. I don't think you got branding and all that stuff tomorrow. So I won't get into too much of that, but I'm talking about just the customer service aspect or component of all that. You've got all your stuff working. Got my business card, shows my phone number, because that's all important about your customer service. You got to make sure that whatever periodicals or whatever you got going out there, got a phone number, a website address, or a social media page or whatever. It's on there. People need to know how to interact and contact you. One of the big things that people are going to be leery about doing business with, if you slap somebody a business card, got your coaching business on there, there's no contact information, you have no email presence, you've got nothing. We're in a different age, you guys, where flyers and paper just don't work no more. People want to see that you are a legit coaching business. So you got to have all of those things completed. And so I know Jessica Taylor, who's going to be coming to you tomorrow, all of that, she's great at. Claude Hamilton is great at the branding part. So you're going to hear a lot about that tomorrow. But you want to make sure all that's there. Now you got your hours, your coaching hours, the days that you should be contacted. Very important, because if you are saying that your business hours are between 9 to 5, somebody should be able to contact you, or at least get a voice response unit, VRU, that is taking a message and you are returning that call. Now, one of the things I know that if you go and develop your 800 numbers and stuff like that, which is good for a coach, or if you're a coach, because you can have that 800 number actually forwarded to your actual cell phone or whatever device you are using, and it'll come up with that number, so you know this is a coaching call. So if you're looking to save money and you don't want to have separate lines, go find a good 800 number service that'll have that number transferred directly to your cell phone, so you know which are personal calls or which ones are coaching business calls, because you don't want to miss it. You don't miss it because you already told people I'm available from such to such. I know my wife, on Monday she's not open, but she's open on other days, and people know that. I mean, they should know not to call her on a Monday unless she's told you to. So she's going to be there taking those calls. But the thing is, you got to make sure that you're calling people back. So don't say that I'm available during this time and they call you and you ain't heard from them in days. Because what are they going to do? They become a negative subtractor and they're going to go to the other person. So you don't want to miss out on business. You should, man, let me tell you, so many people come to my wife and says, you know what? I tried so-and-so and I didn't get anywhere with them. So I heard about you. So I'm calling you now. Oh, got your business. So you don't want nobody getting your business. You got all this great stuff out there, but you can't call people back. You have no mechanism that people can leave messages on to interact with you, or a website presence that they can go in and type in their information and set up an appointment or whatever. So you got to have all of these tools in place so that you can provide the customer service that you need, especially if you're a one-man show, which in coaching business, that's usually the case. You may be a one-man, two-man, but you want to make sure that you have vehicles and mechanisms in place that you don't lose customers. I tell you, look, I have no patience for you. If you don't call me back, I am going somewhere else. Now, I may give you a day. I may give you 1 or 2 calls, but I'm not going to keep calling you to give you my money. No one should chase you down and give you their money. You're in this business to make a profit. And then what happens is you start to look hypocritical, because you're going to be coaching people and telling them all the stuff I'm telling you right now. So you got to live by what you're saying. I know when we had our hat business, back then we didn't have all these mechanisms, so it was real difficult. You had to make sure you answered the phone. But I told you, when you make a mistake, own it. You may not catch every call. Own it. Now, I get people that leave me emails in Instagram. They don't DM me. They just put it in there, and then Instagram, they not follow them. So Instagram I got to go in there and allow it. Now, this is before I was real hip to what Instagram was about. So one day I looked in there, man, and I had, and the issue was I didn't know how to run the system. My customer service wasn't bad. I just didn't know how to run on Instagram at that time. So I looked, I said, man, what are all these people? What is all these messages sitting there? So I clicked on the thing, and I have messages from, a few days back. And luckily, I was able to catch those. Then I said, oh, now I see where these are. So now I make sure I go and I check that to make sure I'm not losing business. You don't want to lose business. If you got a storefront, what I mean by storefront, you got an office. And you're supposed to be there, that office supposed to be open at 9 o'clock. Make sure you're open at 9 o'clock. Don't be walking in late to your company. Me and my wife, you know, I don't like waiting on people. I don't do late. I do not do late. If you said you're gonna be there at a certain time, then I expect you to be there at a certain time. I'm trying to give you my money. I'm trying to conduct business. And if you're not going to be there, you're not answering the phone for 3 and 4 days, then I got to go elsewhere, because I see that you're not the person that I really want to do business with. You could be a great person, have a great product, all that stuff, but I want to be served. I want the bang for my buck. My refrigerator had broke down, and I had to call my home warranty company. They put me with this one company here locally. I called them. First time I called them, mailbox is full. Waited a day, called them again, mailbox is full. Called my warranty company back and said, hey, I need somebody else. Their mailbox has been full for 2 days, which lets me know they're not answering their phone. They're not checking their voicemail, and they can care less about me. So they got me somebody else, called them. Lady answered the phone, gave me a technician. The guy was out the very next morning, fixed my stuff. I'll call them all the time. The other company, I don't care who they are, they don't answer their voicemail. They don't answer their phones. It's not going back there. So you want to make sure all that's in place. How does it look? How does your office look? How's the location that you are in look? That's all part of customer service, you guys, because you can't be, you know, a coaching business sitting in a strip mall where there's questionable things going on all outside the strip mall. People hanging around because you decided to be cheap and somebody offered you a location that was $100 a month. Whoa, man, I got $100 a month location. People that that's trying to own a business don't want to come where they, you know, got, you know, people hanging around and, you know, weed or drug deals going around and all that stuff. Don't nobody want to come to that and come to your office. You may be okay going there, but you got to ask yourself a question. Just because you're okay, that don't mean everybody else is okay going there. So your location is very, very important. Where you are, how you interact, because that's gonna tell people a big deal about you. When we had our hat store was pristine. Pristine. I'm talking about we vacuumed our floor every day. It was clean. Everything is in its proper place when somebody walks through the door. So make sure that your location, if you got a box location, meaning you got a hard location, not storefront, but a physical location, that when they come there, they should feel comfortable when they come there. They should feel okay when they come there. They shouldn't be looking around threatened or thinking that something's going to go down because you decided to be cheap. Your location is part of your customer service. And be on time. I say that again and again and again. Be on time. Be there when you're supposed to be working. Do not be missing and have folks sitting outside of your business waiting on you to open up. They're going to already see, here we go, got to deal with this stuff. And y'all know the anecdote about us, we're always late for stuff. You don't want to give people validation because you just don't want your people coming to you for customer service. You don't. You want everybody. You want all races and nationalities coming to you for coaching. And the last thing you want to do is let them let that story about who we are to be validated. All right. Return phone calls, return emails, return text messages. Do those things. If you don't, you tell the customers that they are not important to you. They're not important. Ignoring customers, they become ex-customers, and they will subtract from your business based on word of mouth. You want to make sure that you got all these things in place so that you can make sure that you are having, that you got, I'm sorry, negative customers are going to subtract from your business. You want ex-coaching clients. You want them talking so much about you that you can hardly even handle the business. You got to go hire somebody. You got to hire 2 or 3 people to help you manage that business. This is what great customer service will do for you. It does not matter how pretty you are, how great your product is, all this other stuff. And understand this, many people try to come off and say, okay, hey, you know what? I'm cool, all this stuff. People just like me. Nope. No. I got a beautiful wife. But my wife understands she's got to have great customer service because people care less how pretty Madam CEO is. They commented about it and all that stuff. Yeah, and that may draw some customers in and all that. But if she gives them horrible service, they ain't coming back. They are not coming back. Now, and I'm going to tell you something. It was funny because, and I'll say this and then we're going to close the questions. We were out at the mall about 2 weeks ago, and a lady was standing there. She was just staring at my wife, and she said, hi, I'm so-and-so, you know, and I see you on Instagram and Facebook and da-da-da, and I'm one of your clients. And so my wife's like, oh, well, thank you for the business and all that, because, see, hey, you got to thank people. And so she said, I had purchased some things, and I didn't get something. And I was like, oh. So Tia was like, well, what did you purchase and what didn't you get? And so I forgot what it was. I think it might have been the coaching, the credit bundle. And so my wife stopped what she was doing because your customer service just doesn't cut on and off outside of your duty hours. Because if people know you, then you got to deal with them. They're your customer. That's why I was on 24-hour call, but I'll move on for that. So Tia sat there, took her name down, all of this, then said, if we see that we've made a mistake, we're going to give you this product for free. We'll refund your money, give you the product for free. She said, I just need, when I go back, I need to check my system to see what happened. Well, we found out that we did send her the product, and she just didn't probably read that email. But we owned it. She owned it. And the lady had a smile on her face as Tia was owning it and was thankful and all these things. But we found out we had already sent it to her. But you got to own it. If you as the face of your coaching business, you must own that coaching business. I'm not talking about just a name on the paper, because many of us get caught up, well, I'm the owner of my own business. But what about your product? What about your customer service? What about your marketing? What about your hours that you say you're going to be there? What about the integrity of your product? Do you own all of that? One doesn't separate from the other. Customer service runs the gamut in so many different areas that if you do not know, or if you don't have a plan in place, then you may be missing customers somewhere because something's failing. I'll say this, if you got people working for you, you need to sit and watch them do their job. Just don't give them a responsibility and walk away thinking that they're knowing what they're doing. Have mechanisms in place where you can rate them, because you may end up losing coaching business because the people around you aren't doing their job. Not doing their job. So you got to sit and watch them as phone calls come in, how they're interacting with them. Make them go through customer service training. Send them to me. I'll train them. So, because if you don't, they'll treat based on their customer service plan. They got smart with me, so I hung up on them. Really? You just hung up on a customer because they got smart with you? Well, why did they get smart with you? Because did you tell them something that made them have that emotional reaction? You're still in control of that. I understand you get some people who are just unreasonable. You may have to disconnect from some people, but not for just the most minute thing. They got smart with me. Because maybe you didn't tell them what they were asking. You got to be, for great customer service, you got to be a listener, not just a hearer. You got to be empathetic with your customers, sympathetic with what they're saying. Understand what their problems are. Understand what they need, what they're looking for, what they want. Listen to them. Just don't hear them. Because if you're going to listen, if you don't listen, you may give them something to say something that they don't want. And so you want to make sure that your customer service is covered. Have a great customer service plan, everybody. is important to your coaching business. Because if you don't, you may have negative customers and not X customers. You want those multipliers. You want people multiplying your business. You want people going out saying great things about what you provide, not just about your product. Because if you provide, I said, you can have the best ribs on this side of heaven. But if they got to wait 2 hours for it, they're going somewhere else where the ribs may not be as that good, but they got what they wanted in a great amount of time. All right. So I am done. I hope you guys learned something today. And if you have any questions, let's go ahead and get those in now. Just excuse me, because I'm trying to figure out how to unmute everybody. Hold on. Here, I'm trying to unmute people for questions. I am so sorry, everybody. Oh, so if you guys have any questions, just go into the chat. So that's it. Okay, Tracy said this is so good. Already reaffirmed the best practices of customer service at work in corporate America as a benefit specialist. Yep, thank you. Anybody else got any other questions that you would have for me today that I can help you out with? Just customer service for your coaching business. I'll be glad to answer those questions. So go ahead and type them in. You gave me much info. I realized that as a potential client that I never communicated with while you were giving us the info, I reached out and bridged the gap. Great, Philip. I think they from Philip. Yep, that's what you want to do, man. You want to bridge the gap. You want to go back and get those customers who have been lost in email land or text message land. You want to go back and get them and bring them back in. I said, own it. Apologize. Be apologetic. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. If you still need my services, hey, I'm here. I've seen some online business that don't encourage inboxing them or DM them, only work by email. With my coaching, do you suggest that I encourage this instead of emailing? You know what? Me personally, I let people DM me. I let people email as well. You just want to make sure that whatever mechanism that you have them emailing you or putting in your DM, that you're checking it or you've got somebody doing it for you. But you don't want to miss customers. I'm trying to tell you. So as the electronic revolution is out there, you want to take advantage of everything that you do. So if you find yourself spending a lot of time on Instagram or in Facebook, you're probably going to be first to check that, then you do your email. But what's great about all that, have your phone set that every time somebody sends you something, it notifies you. So that now, oh, here's a customer. Boom, 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 boom. Let me go ahead and type in a message and I'll call them back. All right. So it's okay. In formulating the plan, what are some of the major components that should be in our customer service plan? Okay, you want to have hours of operation. You definitely want to have that in there. You want to have how to deal with difficult customers. You want to have that in your customer service plan. You want to talk about phone etiquette. Etiquette of if you got a physical location where people are coming in, how are they going to look when they come to your store or to your coaching business? All of those things. So Tawanda, what I'll do is I will send you a list of those things because it's kind of large. So I'll send you a list of all of those things that you're going to need when you're formulating your plan. So like I said, you got hours of operation, you got all those things of how it can be contacted, all that. Because I know how many of you have been on a website and they say contact information and there's nothing there, really nothing to contact them on. That's why phone numbers are so important. One of the things I hate is when I try to do business with somebody and they don't have a phone number for me to call. You want to make sure that people got somewhere that they can call, not just deal with you through the internet. That's going to be the problem. So Lenora, I understand that people they don't want you inboxing them or whatever, but or they want to connect by email, but there should still be some kind of phone presence there as well that people can actually call. LaVonna, I have a 20 years experience, and your confirmation is blessed reminder of how to organize and make sure I am ahead of the competition. Yep, you do. You want to make sure you're ahead of the competition. Because it's okay to go look at what other people are doing and find out, what you can do better. So it's okay to go look at the competition, study your competition. You want to find out how you become better than them. Yep, LaVonna, do you recommend offering surveys? Yes, I do offer recommended surveys. So every time somebody interacts with you, you should know what some of the things that they did not like. Usually people don't like to fill out surveys. I know sometimes I'm in a rush and they say, well, you be willing to take a survey after this call? 9 times out of 10, I'm like, no, but it's okay to go ahead and at least figure that out somehow where you can send them something and offer something. So you want to grow your business. Sometimes you got to give things away for free or make it something that's going to draw their interest. So if you say, hey, the way you get around the survey is say, hey, you know what, if you fill out a survey, you got a product that you can give away for free. Fill out the product, fill out the survey, and you'll get this kind of product back for free. I got a book or a little a periodical. I'll give that to you for free. Because surveys really will tell the tale of what you are doing. And don't just ask your family and friends. You gotta, people like that sometimes won't tell you the truth. They'll say things because they don't want to hurt your feelings. You want the raw truth. So send some of your customers that you don't interact with a whole lot. Not your good ones. Your good ones are always ex-customers. They're going to multiply your business once you ain't heard from. Send them a survey. Hey, you dealt with me on such and such day. You bought this. Did the product work? What were some of the drawbacks? Did you, when you call, were you able to get through? Who recommended you? All those things you want to find out. And you might want to also reward your ex-customers. If they tell people about the great experience they received, you may give them, some price breaks on some coaching or whatever. People are your greatest marketing customer service. So I'm telling you, when you create ex-customers, your business is on the rise, man. You are going to just grow because you're creating those customers that are always coming back to you. I got a gentleman that I sell suits to up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Every month he's buying. Every single month he's buying. And, I had some issues one time where he got something back from me and it didn't fit right. I owned it. Fixed it and gave him another one. I owned it. I'm not trying to fight anybody for that business. If there's something that I did wrong, I own it. So you got to own it. All right. So yeah, surveys are great. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. So it is now, we're at the 1:45 mark. I want to thank everybody for listening to me today. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat. Or if you just want to send them directly to me, you can go ahead and send them directly to pstrscott@gmail.com. That's pstrscott@gmail.com. And I'll go ahead and answer your questions and send you those answers back. Tawanda, I know I've got to give you some information about the customer service plan. I think I may have one, kind of a demo one that I can actually send you. But I want to thank everybody. We're at 1:45. And so I know right now we have a 3-minute break. And then my wife, Madam CEO, Chair McCrary, will return and she will be going over the next set of information to help you establish that awesome, great coaching business that you are going to create. All right. Thank you very much. And I will